I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Yes or no? Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
I had no prior knowledge of the planned assault on Nancy Kerrigan.
I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior I engaged in.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Oops Podcast, Gallerati, Lynch, and Feehan. Give it up for Kerryn Feehan, everybody.
What up, you guys?
Back on the pod.
Wow, yeah, welcome back to me.
You've joined an illustrious group of people who have been on the pod 3 times.
Oh, wow.
3-timers.
3-timers.
The trifecta.
There aren't many of you. I think it's you, Nathan. Is there anybody else? That you guys might be the only two.
Macintosh?
My dad.
And Big G.
And Big G. Which, by the way, Big G is apparently wants to rebrand. He sent a group text yesterday to Hillary's parents, me and Hillary, saying he would like to just be called G and not Big G anymore.
What?
Because being called Big G makes it sound like he says, quote, it sounds like I'm a garbage disposal man or some sort of mobster. And I'm like, Dad, you gave yourself this name.
Right.
And now you're telling us not to call you the thing you told us to call you.
He's being like P. Diddy.
It's exactly. It's awkward. But he's like, all right, fine. He's like, that may all be true, but still, I just like at the wedding and stuff, if everybody's calling me Big G, it's just gonna be weird. I'm like, all right, fine.
It's too late to change before the wedding. I mean, I was ready to run up to Big G. I can't wait to see him at the wedding. He's like gonna be a celeb sighting for me.
Does this table setting card have Big G on it as of right now?
It may, but we're gonna have to change that. I have no idea. But
He must be so excited. You have a brother, right?
Yes,
Is
Alessio.
your brother married?
No, but he's engaged
Okay.
newly as well.
Wow. Yep. Big G's got it going on.
Big G's got it
with the
going on,
boys.
giving away. But yeah, dude, so then he started making suggestions as to what we should call him, and he suggested Daddy G.
That's sexual.
And he was being serious. That was some like immigrant not understanding the colloquial usage of certain words. No. Call me Daddy G. No, dude.
No, dude.
And then he's like, you can call Giulio Little G. And Hillary's like, I'm good on nicknames for Giulio. Don't worry. Let's just focus on you.
This group text sounds really fun.
It's very stressful.
Where is it left off at? Where are we at?
I think it's just left off at like her dad like thumbs upping it and like
It's the most that he'll get.
Is Hillary's dad a little less flamboyant than your dad?
definitely, but he's a bro. He's a bro. And
He's
like
a bro, okay.
they get along, and my dad really likes her dad.
Okay.
And I think her dad likes him also.
Yeah.
But my dad's like, well, I would say I'm nearly certain, and if he doesn't, then he's hiding it quite well.
Okay.
But my dad will be like, oh man, I thought of something funny. I gotta go tell Barry. He goes over and he's like, Barry, guess what? Like,
I love that. That's adorable.
yeah. Another fun fact: my brother's fiance's dad is also named Barry.
A Barry?
That's kind of crazy.
Happens though. Like I feel like that's kismet. Stuff like that happens.
Right.
It's cool.
A Barry happy family.
Very,
Okay.
very Merry Christmas.
What does kismet mean?
Kismet, like serendipitous, like coincidence, but magic.
Exactly. Serendipity. Very fun. Very fun.
Yeah. Like my nieces both have the same birthday.
And they're both birthed of the same mother?
No.
Oh, damn.
It's my sister and my sister-in-law, like my brother's daughter. Yeah. And one is Grace and the other one's middle name is Grace. Really easy for me to remember, easy for birthdays.
Yeah, that is
We're all
very good.
Tauruses.
Hell yeah, bro.
Started a little Taurus girl gang.
Horns up, girl.
Not from my womb. It's great.
One thing I didn't realize as I'm approaching uncledom.
Okay.
Because once we're married, I will technically have a niece.
Right.
Already consider her my niece. Adore her. But I didn't think about this when I was a kid. The niece and nephews, they don't look at the uncle and aunt as in, oh, I'm blood related to one and I'm not to the other.
No.
They're like equal.
Yes. They don't recognize, because you didn't growing up, like,
no?
Unless somebody gets divorced, then you were like, oh, that person was never really part of our family. Because I had a couple divorces in my family, and it was like, oh, Auntie Claire was never fucking one of us anyway.
She never gave a shit about me.
She never cared, because once they were divorced, she didn't reach out.
I know. And I've thought about that because I'm like, oh, wow, like this kid is going to care about me the same that they care about Hill Dog. That's crazy.
Yeah, but you're also like you're gonna be such a fun you're such a fun uncle.
I hope so.
See, one of the guys my aunt married, and he, rest in peace, he ended up dying, but they also got divorced. He sucked. Like my mom's brothers were all like they were like the best. Like they were bros. Like they threw us. Like my Uncle Mark gave me alcohol when I was 6. Like some things are bad, but like they were fun and like very like rough and tumble. And then my Uncle Vinny, who was my aunt
Your
Kerryn's,
Uncle Vinny.
my Uncle Vinny,
Unbelievable.
Isn't that crazy?
Uncle
Who was
Vinny.
my aunt's like first husband stunk. He was all diabetic and nerdy. Not that diabetes is nerdy, but he was just like always worried about his sugar levels, and he wasn't fun. You know, he would never play football. Like all my uncles would like play like tackle football on Thanksgiving and like do all this shit, and like Uncle Vinny would always just be nerding out, just
Checking his
Playing with his thing on his elbow.
yes, like checking his pump and
checking
stuff.
his blood sugar meter. Fucking loser.
Boner.
This would be great for Micah's pod where they shamed the dead, by the way.
Wait, who they shamed?
Micah and Tim's pod, they shamed the dead for one of their segments. So you'll have
The
to
dead?
shaming the
What are you
dead.
gonna do with those?
You
two?
pick one, but they're Tim is hilarious.
So funny.
He is so funny.
I know. I love
Micah,
them.
obviously too. I've known Micah forever, but Tim
Right.
is like a newer.
Yeah, he's like this funny Chicago teddy bear, Midwestern. He's not from Chicago, Indiana.
Indiana,
Yeah.
yeah. But he was
He's
in
a
the Chicago
very funny
scene.
guy. He's Tim McLaughlin has assembled every piece of furniture in my apartment.
Really?
He's mounted both my TVs.
Wow, he's handy.
He's real handy, real
Wow.
fast, and like doesn't leave a mess.
I love that.
Loved him.
I love that. We're talking about nieces and nephews. Oh, fuck. I took us off the path by talking about Tim.
No, you're. We could just compliment Tim for an hour.
We're
Great
shaming
guy,
the dad.
really funny.
He has the funniest joke of all time.
What is
You
he?
know, he goes, banging fat chicks and skinny chicks is exactly the same. You just close your eyes and pretend it's a guy. All-time classic.
It's really good.
All-time classic.
Yeah, I loved him.
But yeah, I can't help but think back to all my uncles and aunts and any times where they like snapped at me
Yeah.
and thinking about which ones were related to me and which ones weren't.
Right.
And then thinking, would they have done that if I had been blood related?
Right.
Perhaps
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, there was always something a little odd. Also like my Uncle Mark's wife, Diane, who's still with us, and she's so sweet, and she like maintains contact with my mom. Like my Uncle Mark is no longer with us, but she was almost like too nice. Like, so I was like, this one isn't really
Can't
part of
trust
the
her.
clan. Yeah, she's always smiling, always happy, never talks shit. Like
Hey,
my
what's your deal anyway?
yeah. What are you after? What do you want? What are you trying to get out of me? Yeah, and then like my dad, God bless him, he just fell out of touch with his whole fucking family. They were so fucked up and poor, and
Hate to see it.
yeah, I hate to see it.
Well, let's plug your special here.
Yeah, I'm filming it October 28th at the Ice House in Pasadena, California. I'm not going to release it until 2025. That's a strategic move because I'm really smart. But if you do listen to this and you live in California and you know anybody near that area, please let them know. Tickets are like $6. If you want free ticket, I'll figure it out. Just DM me. I just want people there who like me. But yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I got to get an hour out at some point.
Hell yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Super exciting. Stoked for you.
All these other people. Renan Hirschberg's on his 18th special. I have none.
I definitely feel that way too. Like I just shot my first one and I don't like feel FOMO about it. I'm just like, all right, whatever. Like
Okay.
I don't need to be constantly doing specials, but whatever.
Yeah, you
Happy
always
to
have
have
the
done
best outlook. You're always very even keeled. You're very good at like not like comparing yourself and just like moving forward. I try to be like that, but it's tough with all these comics. Like it's fucking Joe List. I'll say his fucking name. We're gonna do a special. We're gonna do a special. We're gonna do a special. Shut up. Shut up. I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Well, it's great. It's exciting that you're doing it. And yeah, look, I think there's value to doing it, of course.
Yeah.
And obviously you think that as well.
It's like for me too, it's like get it out so that I am forced to create new material
Yes.
too, because I am getting sick of my jokes. So
100%.
it's weird though, right? Because like I just like wrote a new one yesterday and I'm like, that one's going in.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
We're not saving that.
Well, so I find that that's a normal thing. Like when you're working toward doing a special, you're obviously like writing more, punching everything up.
Yeah.
You're going to come up with new shit and
Yeah.
it'll be good and put it in the special.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And then if stuff gets kicked out, you just bring it back when you're figuring out your new hour.
Right.
I've been doing that a lot for sure.
Yeah. I'm always envious of people who can just generate new material so effortlessly. Joe Listy and Laura.
I doubt it's effortlessly though. I'm sure they have an involved
I,
process.
don't you hate it when people ask you your process? Why do I hate it? Because I feel
I don't.
judged.
I don't hate it. You feel judged?
Yeah. I feel like people are like, what's your process? I'm like, I'm walking my dog and I see somebody with one arm and that makes me think of something funny. Like I don't have a process. I just walk my dog a lot.
I bet you do. You do though. You just aren't like, you feel, it sounds to me at least, that you just feel self-conscious about it for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But what is your process then, since we're talking about it?
I don't
That's
know.
it?
Like I don't.
Where do you have your jokes? Where do you work? If you think of a new thing for one, where do you put it?
Just in my notes app in my phone. If I'm like, I have been successful in like writing jokes. If I like couldn't get on the Wi-Fi on a flight, then I'll be like, all right, I'll write.
But like writing on a notes app is writing still.
Yeah.
But you just do it on the notes app on your phone?
Yeah. And it's usually like very shorthand.
Right.
And then like once, I don't know, I guess I have a lot of faith in my memory because once I am doing it on stage, I don't like go, especially if I edit or add tags, I don't like go back to my notes app and like write it down. I'm just like, oh, and it's in my head. I'm like, that's the joke. And I constantly forget jokes.
Got it. So
I'm terrible at stand-up comedy.
So yeah, that's all you do, huh? Okay.
What do you do? What do you do?
I'm fucking with you. We've hit a button here and we need to press it as many times as we can.
It does. It makes me feel very lazy. I'm like, I don't know. I just trust my old noggin.
Yeah.
It's going to keep popping stuff out.
The way I do it is like pretty complicated, honestly, in a way that's like not efficient, but it gets the job done. So it works for me. It's not that dissimilar from what you do, but if I do think of like a good tag, I will write it down, but I don't always reference it. It's just too dense to like constantly be like, but that's why I really enjoyed preparing for the hour, not to get into the nitty gritty too much for you guys. Hopefully this is interesting to you. Because I was like, I actually had a manuscript, quote unquote, that wasn't like word for word, but like, I knew that I was going to punch all these up. I was going to try to hit every tag that I could and all that stuff. And then I was never going to do it again.
Right.
So that was a great feeling.
Yeah.
Or I was at least never going to put pressure on it again. Like I'll say that I don't feel like I have like a closer again yet, but like most of my hours new now. It's been a while since my special. So like, I don't think it's that crazy that I have that. And it felt really liberating to not be like constantly working on the same stuff in perpetuity. It was like, I get to just black all this out eventually, which is amazing.
It's like a big release.
Big time.
That's like the thing when you're like talking to also these like production people, like they want to know like, how long is it? And like, what are you going to hit this and this and this and this? And I'm like, you guys saw like the tapes I sent you. Like I'm kind of like the Wild Wild West. There's a loose framework, and then like we kind of go where the material feels like it's gonna fit. You know, like it's like crowd work will bounce me into a joke or whatever. So it's kind of that's the other thing. Like I enjoy crowd work, and I do think I'm good at it, but I want my special to be like 90-10, like material crowd work. You know, I just that way I'll fucking force myself to write more. And then you also worry like, I'm going to film this, then there's going to be an election, and I have a smidgen of political stuff. And it's not even about a candidate. It's about Robert F. Kennedy Jr., you know what I mean? But then it's like, what world are we going to be living in 2025 when I release it?
Right.
Will Robert F. Kennedy have been assassinated?
He's enough of a character that I think he'll still be interesting to talk about.
I hope so. Especially with like the whole "Make America Healthy Again" thing. I'm like a big fan of this. The problem is because it's like being presented sort of by the right. It's getting labeled as like this like cockamamie goofy stuff.
So what is it? I don't know anything about it.
So this guy Callie Means and his sister, they're both these like big health nuts, and I'm all about them. Like she's really smart. She was gonna be a doctor, and then she just realized the amount of corruption in like medicine and stuff, and she was like, I'm not gonna do this anymore. I'm gonna start writing books. She wrote a book called Good Energy, Anyway, they're just basically like bringing Fruit Loop boxes to Congress and saying, why does Canada have 6 ingredients and we have 75? Like this is
same Fruit Loops.
same Fruit Loops.
Interesting.
You know, it's like they're using beet juice to make theirs red and we're using 18,000 chemicals and like all our kids have autism and are nonverbal. And why are we also here while we're at it? Why are we giving kids Hep C or Hep B vaccines? Hepatitis B is like an STD. What baby is like needs a STD vaccine on like the first day of their life? Jenny McCarthy was right.
What'd she say?
She came out, this is when she was dating Jim Carrey too. She went on like Larry King and stuff. This was in maybe even in the 90s. It was a long time ago. And her kid had autism. And she was like, it's the vaccines. She's like, what happened in like this year that all of a sudden kids need like 60 vaccines on their first day of life? And it's because of Big Pharma and they're making all this fucking money off it. And autism is through the fucking roof. And I always say, I don't care if your kids are nonverbal. I don't want them talking to me anyway.
Okay, so wait, but what is this all part of the MAHA?
The MAHA, Make America Healthy Again.
So part of it is just fewer vaccines for little kids, for babies?
Yeah, or spreading them out, like giving them like, you know, a little time in between.
And there's reason to believe that will be impactful?
Yeah, that and, you know, they're basically just like trying to get the corruption out of like medicine and the food industry. The thing is like when like the big tobacco guys all got in trouble, they just shifted over to food. They're like, how can we get people addicted to this instead?
The same people?
Yeah, the same guys.
Interesting.
Tobacco guys just went over and then they pay off the FDA to like approve this and that. The food pyramid is like crazy wrong. It's like upside down. It's like none of it's good.
Interesting. Okay. So so wait, why? So this is an RFK initiative as well? Got it.
He's been like there at every, like they like went to Congress, they testified. That's the platform that he was running on. He was running on health. He was
well, that's weird though, because aren't like all the farmers and stuff, I guess it maybe doesn't necessarily affect them, but like the food industry to me is very like establishment, very protected. Like it doesn't seem like.
Well, there's like good farmers and then there's like industries. Like your good regular guy farmers like make good stuff. But then there's these huge industrial farms that are the ones you see the videos where like the animals are mistreated and you know they're using a ton of pesticides but that food is cheaper and easier to access. So and those are, you know, they're all like working together. That like they box out all the local farmers. You know, it would be great if we could all just like buy a cow from a dude down the street. We know the cow, we know where it came from. We're getting it all locally sourced, but it's like, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Disproportionately affects poor people because they're the ones who are buying the cheapest food, but the cheapest food is the worst for you.
Got it. Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah,
I just love
some good sprinkles in there.
RFK Jr. gets a bad rap because he is a little bit of a kooky bird or whatever. But if you look at his resume, he made the water deal in New York. Like, if it wasn't for him, upstate New York and like where it's all night, Hudson Valley, whatever, they would get all the good water. And we in the city would be like paying out our asses for the water. He like made it so it was all fair and makes sense. And other people use his water deal, like in other countries, as like a blueprint of like how water should work.
Did he have some sort of like psychotic break at some point? Is that like
people get mad because he did the whole like head of a shark thing and the whole bear thing. He put that like dead bear in Central Park, but he didn't kill the bear. A drunk woman killed the bear. He put the dead bear in Central Park to bring attention to the fact that a bunch of people were getting hit by cyclists in Central Park. He put it in the bike lane.
Interesting.
But it was misconstrued and the media really doesn't like him.
So it's interesting that you say that. Our friends over at Rocka News, they run a great Instagram account where they try to sort of narrow down what the important things you need to know about on a daily basis are. They're super popular. It's a really good thing. Okay. They think that RFK is one of the most miscovered people in the media. Yeah. That's what they have said to me.
Oh yeah. It's like, cause
I don't know much about it, but
if you just look at his resume, like face value, he's an environmental lawyer. He cares about like the soil. He's like been to the border. He like works with Native Americans a lot. Like he's like has very good intentions, but people just love taking these like little crazy things that he's done and blowing them out of proportion.
So what else is he? Are there other like? Does he have any weird like? This stuff all sounds great, but does he have any like hot take? Sort of like things that he does that have gotten us to the point where we're miscovering him because we can't overlook them. Like surely, again, like I said, I don't know much about it, but like, are there hot takes that are bad that we're not talking about?
So he wrote the book, The Real Dr. Fauci. and he wrote it like
Got it.
very soon after the pandemic. And, you know, the left was just really like falling in line, you know, and like trusting the science and listening to Fauci. And like, I don't know. I
mean,
read
it ended the pandemic.
What?
It like pretty much ended the pandemic.
What did?
Vaccines.
Yeah, but if you look at the people who got the vaccines and are getting all the boosters now, like they're getting COVID left and right.
I know, but people aren't dying. People stop dying immediately once people start getting the vaccine. To me, that is the most important metric. And I get that some people have had complications. I get it. But like, to me, I can't really, and I'm sure I'm going to get a ton of messages about this, but like, I can't really see how you can argue against doing it. If we hadn't done it, way more people would be dying.
See, I think more people died because people put them on ventilators instead of giving them like appropriate, like ivermectin, like works. Like it was Joe Rogan. They demonized Joe Rogan for saying like that he used like ivermectin, but that drug had been around forever, for centuries, like in Africa, treating this like viruses, and it worked. I think more people died because of the way people were treating it or not treating it, like putting them on ventilators.
I don't know about that.
I mean, it's like with like which studies you're reading.
Mm.
I wish I hadn't gotten the vaccine. I didn't get the second shot and I didn't get any boosters. I got shingles shortly after I got the vaccine. And I'm like a pretty healthy person. Like, and I don't think I get like stressed out. So that made me feel like something was going on with my immune system that wasn't there before.
Interesting.
I don't know. I just like, I look at like people that are like super athletic and super healthy, and those people seem to fall into like the non-vaccine wanting type people. And yeah, I guess I also just look at like the amount of money that was made, and it makes me uneasy. But
right. Yeah. No.
I think obviously it's like a nuanced issue. They also changed the definition of what a vaccine is for this specific
to be able to
vaccine,
like get it approved,
to get it out like fast and stuff. So
The 2021 or ones since?
the COVID vaccine.
They changed the definition before releasing that one.
Yeah. Like the FDA like went in and like rewrote it. Like it used to be something preventative, and then it was like, no, but stopping or whatever. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure of the verbiage.
Yeah, I had no, like, there were athletes, especially in tennis, there's like a couple high profile people who like refused to get it and it like fucked their shit up. Like they couldn't play all these big tournaments because of it, et cetera, et cetera. And I, at the very least, like respected the fact that Djokovic is the main example. He was always against getting vaccines. He's just like an au naturel kind of guy. So like, to me, like him not wanting to get it, that's not a problem to me at all. I also understand the like, okay, certain people don't need to get it. Why would they? You know, that sounds like a relatively reasonable point. The only thing to me that makes it very, very compelling is if you look at the like chart of the amount of people that died before and after. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And like, I had no problem with getting it. I totally understand not wanting to get it, not wanting to get one. But I don't know. I always get the flu shot. I always get the fucking whatever. I haven't been getting the COVID ones though. Just cause it's such a like intense vaccine. Yeah. I don't want to feel like shit when I might not even get COVID that winter. And it's no longer like a massive public health thing in the degree where like, I'm going to kill my fucking grandma or whatever, you know what I mean? By not having it. So I'm like, oh, I'd rather just maybe get COVID than definitely feel like shit for to 36 hours.
It knocked me out for 36
hours.
It
fucks you, dude. It's like the most intense vaccine.
Fetal position, bathroom floor, knockout.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just have no interest in feeling like that.
100%.
You know,
you're healthy, whatever. Like
they also, I mean, these studies aren't like on the forefront of the news, but like there's been a lot of young kids. Like there's a big uptick in kids having heart attacks. Like, healthy young kids who have been vaccinated. So, and you can't ignore, I'm not talking about the COVID vaccine anymore, just vaccines in general. Like the numbers, like there, like autism used to happen like what, 1 in, I don't know, like I think it's like 1 in, he's gonna look it up. But it like say like even look up like 1980, like how many kids like had autism. And now the number's something like 1 in 36 or something, or like 1 in 100. Like it's very high.
What do they What do they attribute that to, other than vaccine stuff? Is there other stuff also?
I mean, the biggest thing, it seems to be vaccine, but it can be like environmental too. It can be, we're pounding ourselves with seed oils and synthetic sugar, and, the health of your parents are probably going to determine.
Right. I also wonder if it has something to do with like people family planning later than before.
Sure.
I bet I could see that. I mean, again, I'm not an expert, but
right. Yeah, no, all these things. But another big thing is like women like in their 20s, like can't get pregnant now. Or having a harder time getting pregnant.
Interesting.
A lot of it is just because of, they've been on birth control for so long, or their diets are shit.
Yeah, that is, I guess, Lynch, what do you got?
I got in the 1970s and 80s, about 1 in every 2,000 children had autism. Today, the rate of autism is 1 in 36.
What was the first one?
1 for every 2,000 people.
Oh, wow.
And now it's 1 in 36.
Yeah,
that's high, dude.
That's high.
That's like a kid in every classroom is a fucking booger eater wearing a helmet. Edit that.
Yeah, that's what we're editing. Hilarious.
We're going to keep it, but bleep it.
That's
the
first
imagination.
No, leave it as funny.
But even if you think about it, like when we were kids, you didn't hear about autism the way you do now either.
No, it was like there was the kids who were like severely handicapped. I mean, it was like a very different. I mean, now this whole like spectrum too, like concept. I'm like, are you autistic, or you just like have like poor social skills? Like, stop trying to get a tax rebate.
Allowing people to get away with bad behavior. Fuck you, I'm autistic.
Right. I'm just not a big eye contact guy. Okay.
Okay, well, what kind of cutting edge recovery stuff are you doing these days? Put us on.
I mean, I love my NAD+. I always tell you about that. It's like now I'm doing like Niagen, which is just a little bit of an elevated version of the NAD.
Are you getting the shots?
I'm doing the IV drips. I'll get the shots once in a while because where I go, Clean Market, they give me 4 booster shots a month.
Nice.
But those can be like B12, cell protector. My favorites are the NAD and glutathione.
Okay. And what do they do?
The NAD, so our body makes NAD anyway.
It's for your cell recovery, right?
Yeah, exactly. And like metabolism and stuff. Like while you're getting these IV drips, like you feel whatever meal you had digesting, like right that. Like if you don't fart, like that's crazy. Like I fart every time. I'm like, it's working. And then you do feel just like energizer kind of bunny, but healthy energy, not speedy energy. And then the glutathione is just like super antioxidant, helpful. And then, vitamin, especially once the sun goes away in the city of ours, I try to hit the vitamin D pretty hard. I'm a big sauna person. Like today I took my alpha strength class. I had a lower back strain. I'd love to warn everybody about my lower back strain.
Please.
Because my thing is I'm 41. And women, once we hit our 40s, it's really important for us to strength train hard, lift heavy ass weights. And the like long distance running and these like HIIT classes aren't actually that beneficial for us. They might keep you from getting fat and like keep you feeling good.
Keep you trim.
But if you want to actually like live long and feel good, you gotta
hit the weights.
You gotta hit the weights. And then like sprint training is really good. So like go hard for like 30 seconds and then stop. My thing was I was just doing weights. I was just going super hard. I was like deadlifting 170 pounds. I was like front squatting, split jerking. I was just taking these alpha strength classes like 4 to 5 times a week. And I have weaker hips, just like genetically, like my core and my hips are weaker. So one day I'm going to do a deadlift and it had just been like building up for so long. I hurt my back so bad that for 4 days I was fucked up. Everything I looked up, they were like lower back strain, you're out for 2 weeks, like you're going to be immobile. But I went to a medical masseuse. His name is William Roja. He's the fucking best. And he was like, where does it hurt? And I showed him. He's like, that's fine. That's muscular. He's like, your hips are weak and tight. You need to go hard on them, strengthen your hips, and you'll be fine. And I started going in the sauna. I took a resistance band, and I would do clamshells in the sauna, even though it kind of hurt a little bit at first. Then I would go in the hot tub with jets. And I just physically rehabbed myself, and I stayed the fuck away from really any pain pills. I probably took 4 Advil total over the course of those 4 days. But The second you look up an injury like that, they're like, Oxy will help. It's like, what? Like, no, I don't want that. I don't want to be hooked on fucking opioids, dude.
Easy
I'm an
fix.
addict. Yeah.
Interesting. So yeah, no, that sounds like a good old like swift PT, which
Yeah.
part of it, I mean, massage is like an underrated part of it.
Totally.
I have a narrow spine.
Let's
by the way.
talk, G.
And I have a herniated disc, and it's been a real bitch. But I've been getting,
Really?
I've been getting massages. It's like in
Okay.
my neck,
Oh,
so it's
wow.
like C whatever.
Okay.
It's
you
funny.
get an MRI to determine that?
Yeah.
Okay.
C5, C6.
Okay.
So anyway, it's been like stopping me from like doing pretty like most upper body stuff, but like
Okay.
I want to avoid getting surgery. So like
Right.
they say that if you're patient enough, it'll eventually maybe fix itself. Like I'm in an age range where that's the case, but it's just been annoying. But anyway,
That's good though. This is fascinating to me. That's interesting.
Yeah. So it's been, but anyway, the massage has been the thing that's helped me the most.
Okay.
And I basically get one once a week as
Nice.
part of my physical therapy session.
Nice.
So
It adds up. It's not a cheap, like if you're getting good massages, you
Yeah.
know, they can be expensive, but I do agree they're really worth it.
and insurance covers mine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it's part of like a PT session technically, and not just a masseuse. But yeah,
Where do you go?
this place in Midtown, I can give it to you.
I used to go to Spear when I had to rehab my hand. Remember I broke my hand?
Yeah.
I had a screw in there. I used to go to Spear.
Spear. Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh wait, I was gonna tell you something. But now I've been hitting Pilates a lot harder now. I told you I fell through the pit at Solid
Yes,
Core.
you did. Kerryn fell into the pit of fire at Solid Core.
What's the pit?
So Solid Core, what's it called? The Reformer?
The Mega Reformer, whatever.
The table thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she fell into the opening. Onto
Oh.
springs.
Onto springs. Painful. I mean, it wasn't like I bounced up, I was laughing, but we were doing lunges, like sliding the thing out and sliding it back
yeah.
in. And I was like trying my best, so I was sweating a little. It was,
Didn't use the little pole.
no, dude, I was going hands free, bit it.
Kid. Hilarious.
This teacher named Gabby was like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah,
Shut up.
shut up. Stop looking at me."
Somebody emailed us that their Solid Core teacher projectile diarrheaed all over the front of the class.
What?
Isn't that crazy?
That's
like
crazy.
right at the end of class. I'm like, fuck.
She could have. What? You know that's coming.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
Too much NAD plus.
Too much NAD. Sometimes these and I won't get specific or name any names, but sometimes these health and fitness people, I think all fitness instructors are angels on earth and they're very selfless and their vocation I respect, etc. Sometimes you will find a little bit of an incongruence with their lifestyle. Like even that chick Gabby, like we got in, this was like a Sunday morning class, and she's like, last night I got wasted. She was like, I was in the fucking West Village. There was like no bars that were open. I was like, what the fuck? So yeah, I'm a little hungover. Whatever. 5, 6, 7. It's like, and even I've had like yoga instructors too who are like very dogmatic about inner peace and, you know, cleanliness, like being good and like, you know, healthy. And they drink nonstop.
Yeah.
And I mean, to each their own, but
That frustrates me when I meet like a fitness instructor and we're at a thing and they're like starving and eating whatever they want. And they're just like so jacked that like
Right.
they can do that. I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck.
I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, it's like they probably need a release.
Right. Of some kind.
Yeah.
Lynch, what about you, pal? How's your gym work, your
going
gym
on,
routine
Lynch?
been going?
Gym's been fine,
Yeah.
but I was telling Giulio on the last episode, I'm in the middle of a wedding marathon, and I've done 3 weddings in a row. And just like the weeks are shorter. I'm coming back. My Monday is like a Sunday because that's like a recovery day, at least energy wise. And then I got to do it all over again on Thursday to head out for a Friday. It's just been, I've been on a good routine for the last year. The last 2-3 weeks have been tough. It's been tough to get to the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little small.
I hear that.
I'm feeling a little
A
small.
little small.
Yeah, we used
Yeah,
to open
you
up the
swole.
episodes. Giulio calls me Big Ryan, Big Strong Ryan. And I'm glad you haven't been calling me that lately because that's not how I feel right now. I feel tired and sad, and
Is it hard for you to put on mass?
it is. I have to
He's done a good job.
I have to drink these protein shakes before bed that have like 1,300 calories
Wow.
just to give myself a fighting chance.
What's like your meat intake? Are you a meat eater?
Yeah, I do oats in the morning.
Okay.
I'll hard boil 4 eggs and eat them, but I just feel disgusting after that. But I do it.
Yeah.
Then I'll eat like 2 chicken breasts for lunch.
Okay.
And
There
then
we
I'll
go.
eat my dinner and the rest of my fiance's dinner when
Oh,
she's
there
done
he
with it.
goes.
And then the protein shake.
Right.
Solid.
Yeah. But you do one weekend on the road, I just like don't eat.
Yeah.
If I'm visiting my family or I'm visiting Victoria's family, I just don't eat. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's it. Otherwise, pretty good.
Solid.
Otherwise, pretty great.
Solid.
Otherwise, the best.
Yeah, Skankfest was challenging because, and I feel like Lewis is mad at me for like saying this, but yeah, the whole routine goes out the window. You know, like I'm an early riser and I'm typically like a fasted workout. My thing is also like with all this fitness stuff, there'll be one study one week that's like, yeah, it's better to work out fasted. And the next week it's like, eat 6 grams of protein before you work out if you want the best. I'm like, well, am I pumping up?
Yeah, exactly. I know.
But I typically like I caffeinate, I work out in the morning, and then I eat my face off around like 2 p.m., like 1 p.m. And it's like I get butcher box. So I'm either eating, like today I had a pork chop and 2 eggs. I like a flank steak. All the salmon I bought is going to waste right now. I just don't want, I'm not craving it. I'm craving like red meat, pork chop.
Fuck yeah.
Like sausage, you know?
Is there a new thing you're like craving or like a new thing that like is really hot on your radar right now that you're excited about that you've been like eating way too much of?
Like the flank steaks. I'm having a lot of flank steaks. For a minute, I was trying to get into organ meats. But those are like tricky to like just have.
Like liver?
Like chicken liver. Yeah, I was doing, or like chicken hearts.
Where do you can you get that at a Whole Foods?
Whole Foods has chicken hearts and chicken livers in jars.
I just picture you sitting there with
Yes.
blood running down your chin, being like,
Like Carrie.
have you fucked around with peptides at all?
No, but I mean, I'm hearing good things. Emma Willman is just like, I feel like she's on every peptide.
She's shooting them up and stuff?
She's doing glutathione suppositories, which I learned from a stand-up clip she posted. I'm not a nosy friend.
What's a peptide?
You talk about that.
I don't even know.
I don't.
In the context that I'm talking about it, like a lot of people I know who have been injured, you basically are supposed to like shoot it into the injury, like yourself.
No.
So you basically need to like know how to do that, which I don't know how to do. And I'm also, so this is funny too. I actually bought all this stuff because I had an injury one time and I was going to do it.
Okay.
So I bought all this stuff. And then this like orthopedic surgeon was at our house and I was explaining it to him and he was just like,
Don't do that.
he's like, dude, don't do that. He's like, that is a terrible idea. Don't do that. And I was like, okay. But then I'm hearing everybody saying like, it's been great. So like, I don't know if it's just like new and it's eventually everybody's going to think it's good. But like everybody that I know who's done it has been like, I shoot it into my injury for 30 days and I feel amazing.
Okay.
And it's worked for everybody that I know. I'm like, okay, I still am not going to, and it wouldn't help me here. But like, if I ever have like a muscle injury or something, like they say it's supposed to be work wonders, but like, whatever. It's not.
If I ever hurt my back again, like I've gone like very easy. Like I've definitely like lessened the weight that I'm lifting. Yeah, I'll look into that if I ever get another one of those lower back strains. Hopefully I don't, because that shit sucked.
But it sounds like it went away pretty quick.
Yeah.
But still, for a person who like has a full day of like workout related stuff, like not being able to work out at all for a few days must be like terrible.
Yeah, it fucks up your mental health.
With all that protein you have, do you drink milk?
I love milk.
What milk?
But I drink like half and half in my coffee or whole milk in a latte.
You're not doing like the dairy-free milk stuff?
No, I love dairy.
Gotcha.
I mean, I know that it's like maybe like full of mucus. It depends. Here's the thing. I would drink raw milk
full
if
of
I
mucus?
could. Yeah, I guess so. I guess it's full of mucus, but I don't know.
Wait, you would drink raw milk?
I would if I was. I should. I want to.
How much filtering goes on with milk after?
It's pasteurized and all that shit.
Oh.
But
Wait,
like,
you're dairy free? What are you?
I'm dairy free.
You're drinking mashed potatoes, dude.
I used to drink.
Oat milk is bad for you.
Okay. Well,
yeah, but
hear me out.
he gets reaction to dairy.
Oh, you're
breaks out.
always a dairy kid.
Yeah.
Lactose intolerant kiddo.
Yeah. Well, no,
Vaccines.
I don't have. Okay, I have to say I don't get tummy
Lynch
issues.
got all the boosters.
I don't get tummy issues, so
Okay,
don't think of me that way.
Okay, we won't think.
But I break out.
Like
Okay.
I
like
punch out at a
clockwork.
wedding this weekend. I got this new friend right here.
Like clockwork.
But I was gonna say no oat milk, no almond milk. I saw a video. This really big, strong, shirtless guy talked about how it's terrible for you. Coconut milk is the best.
Yes,
thing for
coconut
you.
Yeah.
milk, all about it for sure.
Cut almond milk cold turkey. It's really good.
I can't. I'm intolerant to almonds.
Are you have a nut allergy?
Not like a full one. I'm not a fucking nerd. But I can't. It takes me a long time to digest almonds, almond milk. Even if almond like flour is in like an energy bar, it'll take me a while to digest it.
How do you know that? Did you get one of those tests?
No, I feel it. I'm all.
Yeah. No, it's good.
I'm hippy dippy.
But to your point, like when they change the thing every couple of weeks, like as they keep changing it, I think what I learned typically is that it all works.
Yeah.
And which one can you consistently do?
Right.
You know?
I agree. That's the other thing. Yeah, like I try to be like an intuitive eater too, because I don't want to take all the joy out of eating. Like I want to get hungry. I have a total sweet tooth too. Like I'm like, I need to eat a little sweet treat after I have my dinner. I'm a good girl.
Totally. Good girl who deserves a treat.
I go for the human chocolate bars when I want a sweet treat.
Oh, yeah.
Those seem pretty solid.
Dark chocolate,
hazelnut butter. It's usually my vibe. Oh, and I follow this chick called she's like the glucose princess or something. She's this French chick on Instagram. She's super hot, even though she's a terrible haircut. French bitches can get away with that.
Classic.
She says you can have a sweet treat, but try to put some clothing on it. So like you can have it, but like have it with some yogurt, and then it slows down. You know, it doesn't
the digestion and all that stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't like shoot the whatever insulin glucose right into your veins. It does it slowly, so it's better.
I've heard about that kind of shit too.
I like shit like that.
All very interesting. And there's certain things too, like when I eat eggs, I typically feel like shit, but I just love them.
I love eggs too.
So I'm like, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Being this new, so I had 2 issues, and this is funny because at the beginning of this wedding weekend, one of our friends said that his fiance gave him rules of stuff he was not allowed to talk about. 1 was Zins, and 2 was his injuries.
Stop.
I was like, that
the
was
poor guy.
Hilarious.
That's all he wants to talk about.
Right, exactly. And I get it because, you have this injury, and with this, this was a completely traumatic experience. Like not only not being able to work out, but for a month doing this, I couldn't do.
Oh, poor thing.
I was told not to.
Right.
It was don't lift anything. So even now, now I'm functioning as long as I don't have to do a bench press. No fucking idea.
Really?
Being old. Also misdiagnosis potentially. I had a left shoulder problem, but I was told they're all right, well, if you can lift weights, it's not going to make it worse. I'm like, great. So I started lifting weights heavy because my hip was all fucked up. And then I think that's how I did it. Lifting too heavy.
Yep.
Anyway, so it's been such an adjustment, that it's been interesting to learn to live this life where I can't do anything.
Lift things.
What was that?
We just blew a fuse because we're so electric.
We're just so cool. Oh,
there it goes.
I think that.
Yeah, injuries are fun to talk about.
I know.
How can you not? It's your body. It's on your forefront of your mind.
So the things that have been helping me the most have been foam rolling, and honestly, even just so now I've been able to do lower body exercise again, and it feels great. And I still haven't been doing any of this shit yet, but I don't even care. I'm as long as I can do something for now, I'll feel good.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's how I was when I had my broken hand. My right hand was off limits.
Yeah.
And I met with this great personal trainer who was like, your elbow up works. He's like, you can put a resistance band and do all this.
It's good to know specifics of what you can and can't do. I find that really helpful. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I have one more little funny thing that I want to add, that I want to throw in here for you guys. So I was getting my wedding clothes tailored. Okay. And they were talking about how they should make my pants or whatever. And the one girl was trying to be subtle, and she was talking about my pants. And she told the guy kind of quietly, she said that I have an ample seat. He has an ample seat. And I was like, if you guys think I missed that, you are wrong. And they asked me what I want the custom stitching on the inside to be. And I'm like, ample seat, obviously. So at my wedding, it will say ample seat on the inside of my jacket.
I love that.
Taking ownership over it.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's so funny.
Ample's such a beautiful word.
Ample is wonderful. Ample.
It's it makes you think of abundance.
Yes.
Bountiful.
An abundant seat.
Are you excited? Did you feel good in your suit?
Yeah, I guess. It was annoying.
Tux, right?
Tux, yeah. It's not it's not done yet. I guess I'll feel good when people tell me I look good, even if they're lying. But otherwise, it's kind of a chore. But whatever. I know that it's a chore with a good outcome. A lot of the times, I don't want to do this shit, and I'll be there doing it, annoyed. But I know that it's the right thing to be doing. Right. So I just listen to Hill Dog.
Hill Dog knows.
Follow Hill Dog, and you too shall be whatever
Hill
it is
Dog
you're going to be.
Best.
Hill Dog knows best. Kerryn Feehan, guys, where can we find all your stuff?
Yeah, follow me on Instagram, Kerryn Feehan. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check out my podcast, Only Feehans. And yeah, if you're anywhere near California, Oregon, Seattle, come to my special taping October 28th.
Amazing. Lynch?
Check me out for specifics on shows on my Instagram at Ryan is Really Polite. We have October 25th in New York, November 2nd, and November 8th as well. All info on my socials, Ryan is Really Polite.
Sweet.
And email us at oopsthepodcast@gmail.com. Any of your questions or grievances.
Come check me out in Seattle on the 26th, en route to going to see Kerryn the 28th. I'm going to be at Hereafter at the Crocodile in Seattle for 2 shows. That should be great. I'm trying to add more stuff to my schedule now. So hopefully be coming to a town near you soon. Add Not Julio. I got a new video on my YouTube, Giulio Gallerati. I think add Not Julio, you'll find it as well. Check that out. Subscribe, all that shit. Add it to the podcast. Nice chatting with you guys. Bye-bye.